This video delivers a raw and intense courtroom confrontation that feels more like a showdown than a simple hearing. From the moment Thomas Styron appears before Judge Simpson, it's obvious this case is headed for trouble. Styron immediately challenges the court's authority, insisting that he is not the person named on the case and refusing to acknowledge the most basic questions. Instead of engaging seriously, he smirks, laughs, and talks over the judge, turning what should be a straightforward arraignment into a tense power struggle. Judge Simpson initially tries to explain the process and give the defendant every opportunity to cooperate, but patience wears thin as the disruptions continue. Each warning becomes sharper, each interruption more costly. When Styron is removed from the courtroom and later brought back, the situation only worsens. He doubles down on sovereign citizen talking points, claiming confusion over identity, legal entities, and personal status, while refusing to answer directly. The judge responds decisively, making it clear that the courtroom is not a stage for games or internet legal theories. As formal charges are read, serious offenses that carry real consequences, the gravity of the situation becomes undeniable. Yet even then, Styron attempts to derail the proceedings with arguments about trusts and social security numbers, pushing the judge to the breaking point. The final moments are chilling as Judge Simpson lays down the law, warning that continued disrespect will lead to even more jail time. This viral courtroom clip is a hard lesson in reality: challenge the system all you want online, but inside the courtroom, defiance has a price, and in this case, that price is time behind bars.
Some confusion.
What's the confusion?
I've stated multiple times on the record that I wish to represent myself.
Well, I thought we got rid of that issue the last.
Yeah, I thought so too. I spoke to this gentleman right here and expressed my wish to represent myself as well.
All right. Well, if he doesn't want you, I mean, we'll figure that out in a moment. So, Mr. Styron, we're going to go through this again. What do we want to do in this case? You understand what you charged with, sir?
I understand what the charges are against me, yeah.
Okay, look, you're going to have to give me straightforward answers to my questions because I've got to make sure that you understand certain things. I got to do certain things here.
From my understanding,
you understand, first of all, that if you do indeed direct, you want to smile about it and laugh about it, take him back. We'll call him out later. Take him back. You keep laughing. You laugh one more time, that's 30 days. Go contempt.
my name is Thomas Styron. Living man.
Mr. Styron, you are before the court. You have elected to represent yourself. I do have to advise you that you have 3 counts against you. The first count is that of fleeing and eluding 3rd degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. Do you understand the nature of that charge, sir?
This is under the assumption that you're compelling me to identify as Thomas York Styron, the legal entity on this case.
I believe that you are. Do you understand the nature of the charge, sir?
I don't understand how the name you have on the case and who I am, it's 2 different people.
I have a complaint, Thomas Styron II. Do you understand that that individual is charged with fleeing and eluding 3rd degree?
So,
do you understand the nature of that charge? You just need to answer my question.
For the record,
take him back, and when he decides he wants to cooperate, we'll bring him back. Maybe. I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. Recalls the case, people of the state of Michigan versus Thomas Styron II. Styron, you are before the court on a felony complaint that does allege count 1. And I'm going to presume, since you do not want to answer the court's questions, that you understand English and understand what I'm saying. You are before the court on 3 charges. Count 1 is the charge of fleeing and eluding 3rd degree. Under the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code, that is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration, a $1,000 fine plus court cost, and would require the Secretary of State to suspend your license for up to 1 year upon conviction. Count 2 is assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer. That is a felony or high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years incarceration and or a $2,000 fine plus court cost. Count 3 is a misdemeanor offense of operating with a license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor as indicated, punishable by up to 93 days, $500 fine plus court cost. Your vehicle could be subject to immobilization. Since you refused previously to answer my acknowledgement as to whether you understand that, I will assume that you understand what you're charged with. You are also entitled to be represented by counsel at this and all subsequent proceedings. If you could not afford to hire an attorney would be provided at public expense to represent you in this matter. You are entitled, as indicated, to be represented at this proceeding, all subsequent proceedings, including your preliminary examination, and if the matter were to proceed by trial, you would be entitled to counsel. It is, as we have gone through with the previous proceedings, the court's understanding that you do not wish to be represented by counsel, and that this matter will then proceed forth with you representing yourself. I have to advise you that in representing yourself, the court will make the presumption that you understand the Michigan court rules, those regarding both procedure and those regarding evidence. The court will not be providing any legal assistance to you during the course of those proceedings and will hold you to the same standards that I would hold an attorney representing or practicing before this court. So, with all of that, and with the court's understanding that you do not want to be represented by counsel, I will set this matter for its next proceeding.
You understand I'm the beneficiary, not trustee, right?
That will be the preliminary examination. I will set the preliminary examination. Has discovery been provided to the defendant?
Your Honor, he was previously represented by the public defender. I don't know if they turned over the paperwork to him.
Does anybody from the public defender's office know whether or not the defendant has been provided discovery? Mr. Odetella. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your Honor, we have the discovery. I have not been able to share that discovery with Mr. Steyer, and I tried to speak with him and go over it, but I'd be happy to turn that over to him at the first available.
All right. If you would either turn that over to the court officer so that they can provide that to Mr. Steyer so that he has some discovery, and if you could do that today, I would appreciate it.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm setting the preliminary examination. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
The people would have their witnesses available June 11th. Set this matter for preliminary examination in person, June 11th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before me. Defendant, as he was leaving the courtroom the last time, the court did find the defendant in contempt, sentenced him to 30 days. The defendant will serve that sentence. The court will sign the judgment of sentence regarding the contempt.
I don't understand how that's possible. Like I said,
So first of all, watch your language.
You're treating me as if I'm the trustee, or I don't want to partake in any trust fraud or anything like that. Is this a QVA trust matter involved in this? Is my social security number attached to this at all? Go figure.
Mr. Styron, or whoever you wish to be addressed as, I'd suggest that you watch yourself because there's going to be more time coming. You keep it up. You will learn how to conduct yourself appropriately in these proceedings in this courtroom and before me. You will not in any manner whatsoever
You're trying to compel me to be somebody I'm not.
Or this institution.
You have no evidence.
It will not
to prove
happen.
that I'm who you say I am.
You will not talk to me in that fashion.
In what fashion? I'm not the one being unethical.
Very good. You'll serve the 30 days. We'll see. We'll see him on the 6th.
This video opens inside a courtroom that looks calm on the surface, but tension fills the air almost immediately. What should have been a routine arraignment quickly turns into a prolonged standoff between Judge Simpson and a sovereign citizen defendant named Thomas Styron. From the very first exchange, it's clear that Styron has no intention of following normal court procedure. He doesn't respond like an average defendant. Instead, he questions everything: the court's authority, the use of his name, and even the idea that the person standing before the judge is the same person named in the case file. As the judge begins to explain the defendant's rights, Styron reacts in a way that instantly shifts the tone of the room. He smiles, smirks, and laughs, treating the courtroom like it's a joke. Judge Simpson pauses, looks directly at him, and issues a firm warning. This is not a place for mockery or games. The judge makes it crystal clear that any further disrespect will result in jail time for contempt of court. The warning isn't subtle, and it isn't ambiguous. Laugh again, and you will sit in jail. Instead of backing down, Styron continues to test the limits. He refuses to acknowledge the court in a straightforward way, insisting that he and the name listed on the case are two different people. This is a classic sovereign citizen argument, one that judges across the country have heard countless times. Judge Simpson doesn't take the bait. He calmly explains that the court recognizes the individual standing before him as the defendant named in the case, regardless of personal theories or word games. When Styron continues to interrupt and speak out of turn, the judge orders him removed from the courtroom. The message is simple: order will be maintained. After a short break, Styron is brought back in, and the judge attempts to proceed with the arraignment once again. This is another opportunity for cooperation, another chance for the defendant to answer basic questions and move the case forward. But the second attempt goes no better than the first. Styron refuses to provide a clear identity, claiming the court is compelling him to identify as a legal entity. He says he doesn't understand how the name on the paperwork relates to him, repeating the same circular arguments that led nowhere. The courtroom atmosphere grows heavier as it becomes obvious that this isn't confusion, it's defiance. Judge Simpson's patience runs out. After repeated interruptions and continued refusal to follow instructions, the judge formally holds Styron in contempt of court and sentences him to 30 days in jail. The decision is direct and decisive. This is the consequence of ignoring warnings and disrespecting the court's authority. With the defendant now silent, the judge proceeds with the arraignment. The charges are read clearly and carefully, reminding everyone in the room that this case involves serious allegations. Third-degree fleeing and eluding, resisting and obstructing a police officer, driving with a suspended license. These are not minor issues, and they carry real legal consequences. As the hearing continues, Styron attempts one last time to regain control of the situation. He launches into more pseudo-legal arguments, talking about trusts, social security numbers, and legal status. These talking points are familiar to anyone who has watched sovereign citizen cases before. They sound complex, but they hold no legal weight in an actual courtroom. Judge Simpson shuts it down immediately. His tone is firm, authoritative, and final. He warns Styron that more jail time will follow if the disrespect continues. The judge makes it clear that the courtroom operates on law, not internet theories, and that compliance with procedure is not optional. You will learn how to conduct yourself appropriately in this courtroom, the judge states, leaving no doubt about who is in control. By the end of the hearing, the lesson is unmistakable. The courtroom is not a place for performance, defiance, or word games. Judges have heard these arguments before, and they know exactly how to deal with them. This case serves as a powerful example of what happens when a defendant chooses confrontation over cooperation. The law doesn't bend to personal beliefs, and ignoring that reality can quickly turn a simple court appearance into time behind bars. This video isn't just about one defendant or one judge. It's a real-time demonstration of how the justice system responds when its authority is challenged head-on. Calm explanations turn into warnings. Warnings turn into consequences. And in the end, the court moves forward, with or without the defendant's cooperation.